are. All right, we are recording. So we've got Bethany Dearborn here with us tonight. Like I said, she is a triple diamond leader. She's a former English teacher. And I've got all of y'all's questions that y'all sent me in the group chats. And before we start doing like our question and answer with Bethany, I'm just going to let her talk for a few minutes and share her story. So if anybody, maybe wait until like towards the end of the Zoom to submit any more questions, because I still have that long list of questions that y'all came up with. So while, hey Caitlin, making sure everyone's muted, and while Bethany is talking, I'm going to turn my video off so that it doesn't use as much bandwidth. I just figured that out. Okay, Bethany, you are good to go.
Awesome. Hi guys. Let me apologize for my purplish nature. I'm fighting with my webcam tonight, so like all of my It Works shirts are like this bright purple. But anyway, I am, like she said, I'm a triple diamond. I have been with the company for almost 6 years. I know nothing about you guys. I don't know how long you have been in the business, but sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like the old lady. Just sitting around, not sitting around, but when we're talking, I feel like the old lady. Well, I have 3 boys. They are 15, 12, and 11. I am a retired English teacher. I taught 8th grade language arts. I'm also a retired personal trainer. So just real quick about my story. I have known since I was about 18 that network marketing was for me. I watched my parents do it very unsuccessfully as I was growing up, but I caught the vision from then. I understood the power in duplication, and I understood the power of being able to out-earn the person above you by working harder than the person who should be getting paid more than you. And that always appealed to me. I always saw myself in a position of influence over large amounts of people. So when I was, I always knew there was going to be something like that. But of course, as a kid, you think it's going to be high power executive, or I was going to be a lawyer or something like this. People started telling me I should be a teacher because that's what I'm good at. And instead of seeking things out on my own, I went to school to be a teacher. So I ended up in a classroom, 8th grade. They don't want to be at school anyway, so that was fun. And very quickly realized that classroom teaching was not my bag. This was not what I had signed up for. Luckily, halfway through my first year as a teacher, we found out my first son was coming. Yay, God. And so I started looking for a way to stay home. And I knew I wasn't supposed to start the school year. I was supposed to be a stay-at-home mom. I was supposed to trust the Lord for that income. But me quitting that job would literally cut my income in half. So he put me on bed rest when I started the next school year. I should have learned then to listen when God speaks, but I didn't. So fast forward all of these years as a stay-at-home mom, desperately searching for a way to bring in extra income, but always knowing that network marketing was the way to go. That took me through 9 other businesses before this one. Have any of you guys done other businesses first? All right. Usually when I say 9, like the room loses all the air. Just everybody's like, oh, like this. Yeah, so 9 other businesses. So when I tell you that what we have here is very special, if you've never done another business, you don't know we're different. You don't know Mark and Cindy are different as leaders. You don't know that our compensation plan is bomb. Like, it blows everything else away. And I can speak to that with confidence. Like, I know what we have here is golden. I went to my first conference in 2013 as a diamond. I had joined in 2012. I was a personal trainer at the time. I had lost, I don't know, at that point it was something like 85 pounds with the blood, sweat, and tears difficult way. And I saw my sister-in-law posting these pictures on Facebook, you know, the ones. And I was like, crap. No, that is crap. I'm a personal trainer. I know what the body does, and that's not it. I said, I know that's not it. And my sister-in-law hated each other. We hated each other at the time. I mean, it was like, imagine the person you like the least in the world. It was that times two. Whatever it was that and more. And so she started posting these pictures, and I was like, no, I got to show her how stupid she is. So you guys, this was, I think, my first proof as an adult that the Lord uses our stupidity to work for our good. Because I jumped on the computer and I desperately needed to research this product so I could prove her wrong. That was the only reason I started to research this product, was because I wanted to tell her how stupid she was. And so I'm looking at the ingredients and I'm looking at the wrap and I'm digging and I'm researching. And the more I'm researching, the more I'm falling in love with the product and more I'm falling in love with what the company believes. And I was hooked. And so I was like, well, if I can believe in this product, they don't believe in a 90-day challenge. It's not about their 10-day program. It's not about this. It's not about that. It's about a healthy lifestyle. And the products don't require you to be perfect. As a recovering emotional eater and food addict, I spent so much of my adult life feeling miserable about myself because I couldn't be perfect on a program. And so what I very quickly saw researching this was that you don't have to be perfect on our products. And I love that. So then I jumped to the money side. I've already told you guys, I, always knew that something like this was going to be my thing. I took a look at that average income chart, which back in 2012 wasn't even as impressive as it is now. And I was hooked. So that was almost 6 years ago. I haven't looked back. I dove in with all four limbs, and it's just been the very best thing I've ever done. But I have to tell you, the day before I gave birth to my first son, at 5'2", I was 4'11" around. Just imagine that just for a second. I was 4'11" around and only 5'2". So like the blueberry girl from Willy Wonka, yep, that was me. But I got so big that some of my stretch marks just split and bled. And I know now that I have a connective tissue disorder that causes stretchiness of the skin. I didn't know that then. All I knew was that I was massively huge. I had just had my baby. I was looking down at this, like, I didn't even recognize the front of my body. Like, if you're a mom, you know what I'm talking about. And so I had a lot of self-esteem issues. It got really, really bad. I suffered with depression and the weight loss roller coaster, because I would try to do something I would try to lose weight. I would try to get skinny. Again, I didn't understand the difference between skinny and fit. And so I took every bad for you pill, every ramp your heart rate up, horrible chemical crap known to man to try to get skinny again. And, one day I locked myself in the bathroom with a knife and a pair of scissors, and I just wanted to cut it off because I was tired of looking at it. And I just wanted to figured I could deal with whatever was left. And so what I quickly realized after that, had to come to Jesus meeting in the bathroom, I quickly realized that if I could do something I should do something about what I can do. That's eat right and move more, and then let the skin take care of itself later. Whatever that looked like, we'd figure it out later. So fast forward a couple of years, and I come across this wrap on Facebook that's literally blowing my mind. I'm looking at all of these pictures going, there's hope for me. I'm not abnormal. It's not just me. There's hope. And I don't have to spend $10,000 on surgery to do something about it. So that's what got me hooked. When I share wraps with somebody, I'm sharing from a place of, the wrap literally saved me from doing harm to myself, or it brought me out of such a bad place. I don't think I could ever leave this company ever. And that was even before I really was in love with Mark and Cindy. But anyway, so that was 6 years ago, jumped in both feet. I survived the great wrap shortage of 2012. We were doing parties with no wraps. Nobody can ever tell me you can't do a party because you don't have wraps. That's crap. I don't know, was anybody around during the great rat shortage of 2012? So we had such a tremendous rapid growth at the beginning of 2012 that our customers were ordering. 4 weeks later, their first auto shipment was processing. And then 4 weeks after that, they were receiving their first order. So about the time their third auto shipment was processing, they were getting their very first order. Had people fighting over wraps at parties. We were cutting up wraps into 5 and 6 pieces and raffling them all off for people to try. It was nuts, but it was totally worth it. Yeah, for real. Anyway, so I have been around the block a little bit with this company, but I'm absolutely in love with it, what it's done for my family, what it gets to do for other people. And as a personal trainer, I had to be able to, promote a product with confidence. And this I definitely can. There's nothing that I have ever found on the planet that's formulated to help your body do what God intended, like our stuff is. Everybody has hidden crap ingredients, and Mark and Cindy's hearts, Dr. Dawn's hearts, Luis's hearts, they're all for the people. And so you can know with complete confidence that our products are the best. There's just nothing out there quite like ours. Okay, so that took a little longer than I thought. Hit me with your questions.
Okay, so let me just say that I think everyone on my team is probably like listening to you and thinking that you and I are like the same person. I was a teacher too and knew I was not doing what I was supposed to be doing. I did not get pregnant in the middle of my first year, but in the middle of my second year. And it was like I needed that and so many other things to show me that this is not what you're supposed to be doing. However, I had known about it works I think I first heard of it in 2012. And even though my mom did some wraps before my wedding in 2013, and she told me that they were great, I still was like so salty that she even tried them. I thought it was so stupid. I thought there's no way those products actually work. Like I was seriously the biggest hater until 2015 when I became a customer. And finally, after having tried everything from Slim Fast to Atkins to the Lean Cuisine diet, there was another really popular diet pill that was going around in 2013. I can't think of the name of it. It's irrelevant. I was like a diet pill junkie. Like I was a junkie when it came to diet pills. Hated myself, hated my body. I also, just like you, Bethany, have struggled with emotional eating. Like I am an emotional eater. I think that we're all born with something that we're going to struggle with. My dad is a recovered alcoholic. There are people in my family who have had issues gambling, issues with drugs. I'm an emotional eater. I do it too. So I like totally feel you on that. So first of all, we're literally like the same person. I was sitting here texting a couple of people on my team and I was like, y'all, I'm falling in love with this girl. Y'all have got to get on and listen to what she has to say. So I absolutely love that. And 9 companies before it works. There are people on here that have been with a couple of other businesses. So I love that you're not afraid to say that. And I love that, like, you're not ashamed of that. And that, like, I truly believe sometimes it takes us a little bit to get it just right. I mean, it works as my first network and only, like, I feel like I got lucky because I like struck gold the first time. So I added this to my list of questions as you were talking. And you kind of talked about this, like, what made you fall in love with it works. You talked about the leadership and the products. So I just have to ask, it's telling me my connection is unstable again, so I hope that y'all can still hear me okay. I just have to ask, like, you seem like so confident in it, and I can tell that you totally are. Do you ever, as it works, your 9th or 10th company? Would it technically be your 10th? Bethany, can you hear me?
Barely.
Okay. Can y'all, I keep getting like a thing. I asked you, is It Works your 10th company?
Yes.
Okay. So do you ever, like, do you think that you, like, are confident that you struck gold here. Do you ever see yourself doing anything, any other company? And if not, can you tell us why?
I will never leave. I've had many offers, and I will never leave. Corporately, we have a compensation plan that blows everybody else out of the water. Y'all, I've looked at them. There's not another company whose compensation plan matches ours. There's just not. They may have super awesome bonuses in the beginning, but there's no staying power with their compensation plan. Ours has everything. We've got the big bonuses you can earn, but it has staying power. Our compensation plan literally has the ability to pay multiple people $1 million a month and still be making everyone money. Like, that's how powerful our compensation plan is. Besides that, our product line, there is nothing out there that will do what our products will do, especially the wrap. I mean, you guys know there's other weight loss products and there's other this and there's other that. But that wrap was gold. And I think we struck gold again with this keto coffee. And whatever else they're bringing to support it. It's going to be, we shook the industry in 2012. I'm sorry, my husband's yelling outside the door. I hope you can't hear him. While you were talking, he stood right here with a bag of pretzels, trying to be as loud as possible to distract me. Like, I don't know if you guys caught any of that, but this is what I live with. So anyway, we disrupted the industry with the wrap that people didn't have a brain cell for back in 2001. And we did it again with this keto coffee that is rocking people's worlds. And I know whatever else is coming is going to be just as amazing. They never, ever, ever disappoint. The corporate leadership, y'all, I have been in I was in one company. I had worked to their equivalent, it would have been equivalent to Emerald pay. It took like 6 months to get there. Was nuts, and nobody could believe I did it in 6 months. I had hit this level, was barely making $1,000 a month. That was when I was selling $4,000 in product myself every 30 days. We were at the corporate conference, and while we were there, they rearranged our compensation plan in a way that screwed us and gave them more money and tried to make it sound good for us. And we lost rank and lost pay while we were sitting at what was supposed to be the most exciting event of the year. That's what I came from, because their heart wasn't for the people. Our corporate leadership is just golden. There is not another team like ours. There's not another product line like ours. There's not another company. I believe there's not another company that you experience God's hand like you experience it here. And that's because it comes from the top. And Mark and Cindy are not ashamed of the gospel, and they are not ashamed to proclaim the name of God. That is why I will never leave. Besides that, this company made me a 6-figure earner. How could I leave that? I'm loyal to a fault. I'm not going anywhere.
My mind is so blown with everything you're saying. Like, that is so crazy. And I'm just so glad that you are here. I feel like as sad as I was to hear that Morgan had to cancel, you're saying so many things. You can ask, there's three of my biggest leaders are on here right now. And if you were to ask all three of them, like, you're saying things that I got on a Zoom with just the three of them the other night. You're saying everything that, like, I wanted to hear. I just kind of had a bad day. And I was just like, am I like, what am I doing wrong? Am I doing something? And they just kind of reaffirmed that for me. But, like, listening to you, I'm like, oh my gosh, how could I ever? And it's like I was telling them, sometimes we do doubt ourselves. Doesn't mean we're doubting the company, but sometimes, we all have those days. Okay, so I I've got like about 13 questions for you, and I will try to I'll try to condense them as best as I can, and some of them you kind of have touched on when you introduced yourself. So the first one here, what is your daily routine from about the time you wake up until the time you go to bed? What's your daily routine as far as working the business looks like?
Okay. I'm probably the most disorganized triple on the face of the planet. I'm like, seriously, it's like how you get to triple this disorganized. My current routine is wake up, get my kids off to school, come back, quiet time. I do a morning power hour, and then I try to eat lunch with my husband from work a couple of days a week. So that takes chunks out of the day, but I'm blitzing while I'm out. I do a 1 o'clock power hour with my leaders who aren't at work. Afternoon is try to get stuff done around the house. We do I've got kids and basketball, and then dinner. We do a 9 p.m. power hour. And then every single minute my brain is not otherwise occupied, I'm in Facebook or Instagram, and I'm liking, commenting, following up. I'm shooting messages, checking in with people I'm thinking about. If somebody comes to mind, they get some sort of message, hey, I'm praying for you, whatever, is there something on your heart today? It's those 3 power hours a day, and then shotgun whatever else I can get in while I'm doing everything else. I don't know if that helps.
No. We could like race to see who is the most disorganized, because I bet I beat you there. So someone did ask a question about how do you stay organized, but before we'll go to organization next. Real quick, this was a big question from a couple of people on my team. What tasks do you do during a power hour? What do you and your team do? Because sometimes I've tried to host them, and maybe this is the right way to do it, but we just get on, we'll talk a little bit. Actually, I run my mouth so much that that's what I end up doing, so I don't really work. My whole team will tell you I'm constantly running my mouth. I'm doing it right now. So I need to know, like, when I'm wanting to run a power hour with my team, what should we be doing during that power hour? And even if it's not a whole hour, even if it's just 30 minutes, what tasks do y'all do?
Okay. As a distributor with It Works Global, you get paid for very few things. Okay. We get paid many different ways, but it's for a few different activities. Finding and retaining loyal customers, finding and retaining distributors, team members, and raising up leaders. Okay. Those are the 3 activities we get paid for. Everything you do needs to fall under one of those 3 categories. Okay. The finding and loyal customers, or finding and retaining loyal customers, finding and retaining distributors, is all part of growing your network. It's blitzing. It's all that. Like my morning power hour, we get on, and I have found that if I don't have an idea of exactly what needs to happen for that hour, I'm going to be all over the map, and I'll get trapped scrolling in Facebook, liking and commenting, because it's a income producing activity, but I'm not actually doing anything. So I have a file that's got, I think it's 31 power hours that have been compiled from a whole bunch of different top leaders. And so I have that printed somewhere at my desk. And when I sit down for a power hour, we flip to one and we do it. But normally, like, my morning is going to be, I go do birthdays. I make
fucking that female friend, so
what's the word?
So you know, like,
inspirational post.
She love that nigga like a friend. You could just, you know.
And then inspirational post, and I do some.
Yeah, a female, she gonna go click over other people that don't like you, and they gonna discuss you, talk about everything. Y'all, she done told you.
Hey, Jarvia, can you mute
But then do it too. Nigga do it too.
He gonna act like he don't.
Yeah, I think my volume is on.
Okay. I'm sorry, Bethany. I got her muted. I lost everyone for a second, but I got everyone muted.
It happens. No big deal. So like in the morning is always birthdays and a first thing inspirational post, first thing check in with my team. And then we start check-ins, start messaging people. And then like the 1 o'clock power hour, we're messaging people who have liked or commented already that day. And we're trying to start conversations with people we need to talk to later in the day. And then the 9 o'clock power hour, if nothing else, we're trying to start conversations with people who are green in chat live. So we're interacting in Messenger, and of course that's boosting our algorithm and that sort of thing. But yes, we can get that power hour list to you guys. It just can't go anywhere else.
Oh my gosh. I'm like obsessed with that. Yeah, I definitely want to see it. And I think there's some really creative people and some amazing leaders on my team. So I think that we could even edit it to you know, kind of fit all of our needs. I think that's so cool how you do a couple every day. Okay, so going back to organization. And I know you say you're really unorganized, and I'm so glad you admit that, because so many people I think are afraid to admit that they're not very organized. I'm an organized mess. I know where everything is, but that doesn't mean that it's important.
Yes.
So
Right.
how do you keep your business organized? Because there is a lot of things to keep up with when you're, especially when you're a leader in this business. How do you stay organized?
Well, okay, I don't have them here with me because I was fighting with computer issues, but couple of things. This has been a game changer for me. It's a $7 bullet journal I got off of Amazon. It's just got dot grid paper. I don't know if you can see the dot grid. Could you see that? It's not lines. It's just like graph paper, except it's just dots. There's no lines. It was $7, so if I didn't actually succeed with it, I could just throw it away. But the front page is a table of contents, and it's dated, so I know what is in this book. But as I add pages, I number them. Okay, so everything, it works except my charts is in here. So I have like August solid PLCs that I really think I'm going to be able to close in August. I've got that on, you know, here, solid PDTs. They're all on one piece of paper. And then notes from Zooms are all in here. And then I just label the table of contents, you know, show me the money call 821 and the guests. And I have the page number, so I know where all those notes are. Does that make sense?
I love
Okay. So this has been a game changer, $7 on Amazon. And then my charts for all of my workers, my own charts, everything goes in a notebook. And I don't know what levels we have on here, but as you get to double, triple, and beyond, I prefer to organize my notebook with section dividers like you used in high school per leg. So I know everybody that's in each leg, and then I have all of my charts. I do morning charting and night charting for everybody who's trying to promote, checking on their volume so we know what we're working for during the day. At night we do a quick check to see how far we got. But that's really the extent of my organization. In the back of this notebook is all of my 100s list, because I'm horrible at digital lists. And so I put it all back here, and then I can take notes when I talk to them or mark them out when they go tell me to jump off a cliff. So that's about it. Oh, it's digital organization. Anytime I set an appointment with somebody, or somebody says, I can't buy today, but check with me next Friday, it immediately goes in an alarm clock, calendar reminder in my phone. Just pick up the phone, hit the voice button, tell it to set it, put it down. That way it reminds me that day to check on whoever about whatever. And the same thing goes when I sign a loyal. I set reminders for 1 week, 3 weeks, 6 weeks, etc., so I can remember to check on them and I don't have to think about it.
How important is it to your business to continuously check in with and follow up with your current loyal customers? And how do you do this? Because we were talking earlier today about having a Zoom about customer retention, because I don't think, and even I'm not that awesome at it, I'm getting better, but I don't think a lot of people on our team, or probably a lot of distributors in general, understand you're not just signing someone up for 3 months. You want them to continue ordering. And I think a lot of that, the importance is just showing them that you care. So how do you continuously follow up and keep up with these loyals?
I wish somebody had taught me this from the beginning, but the girls I joined were all brand new too, so we were all learning as we go. But ideally, I would have started in the beginning, because now I'm having to go back and do, past loyals. I'm still not caught up to everyone that came in before I started a system. But I have a notebook, and the notebook is arranged by months, or by day, like numbers of days, like 1 through 31. And then if they have a current auto shipment, they're on a piece of paper on that day, their name, ID number, and all of their orders are in this notebook. Does that make sense? Okay, so if they turn their auto shipment off, then they go back to the no auto shipment section, and I have them all right there, and I can stay in contact with them. I wish I had started from the beginning something like MailChimp and keeping them all in a list where I could just do an email blast once a month and stay in contact with them. That's something I'm trying to catch up with now. If that's not your bag, a Facebook group for loyals to really stay in continual contact with them would also be very helpful. Just like you, I'm not awesome at this. It's something I'm sort of having to learn what works with my brain. But I do have them all. Everybody that's on Facebook is in a list. And so I can go into my LC list and then interact and stuff on Facebook, so they continue to see my face. I've only just recently learned of the Reach app, and of course it's not on Android, yay. So I'm working on that, but I'm super excited about finding a replacement.
Reach is really awesome. I started using it a couple months ago, and it's an awesome way to reach a bunch of people at one time.
Yeah.
So I love all those ideas. We do have a page that a couple of girls started for loyal customers. And we kind of admitted the other day we've not been keeping up with it as well. So like now I'm like determined to be adding my loyals to that. Okay. I'll let you touch on this for just a little bit. I know that you said you had to be done by 9, right? So you've got a little more than.
I have until 9:07. So
9:07. Okay.
I have to go live in a party, so I just have to switch screens and I can talk again. So it's no big deal.
Okay. Let's see. Really quick, how do you manage Facebook and Instagram? Do you work one of them differently than you work the other?
I hate Instagram with a passion. I only recently even started to attempt to actually make a run with it. It's just not my thing. I will remember to post a couple of times a day and throw some hashtags up. And I have honestly built a few relationships since I started actually trying over the last few months. But honestly, I don't intentionally work them differently. But Facebook is where my business comes from. It's where I built to triple. And so it's where mostly, I spend most of my time. So I am not an awesome resource for IG ideas.
So did you just admit that you went triple diamond primarily using Facebook?
As my social media source, yes. I wasn't even on Instagram when I went triple, I don't think. If I was, I wasn't using it. But it was a combination of blitzing. We did, every time I've promoted in my business over the last 6 years, we were doing weekly wrap parties at a same location every single week. Whoever could get people there would get people there. We would do the presentation if there were guests. If not, it would just turn into a team training. Every single time I've promoted, it was weekly in-person wrap parties. And then once, pictures of those started popping up on Facebook, I started getting a lot of long distance people contacting me wanting to join my team.
Okay, so take a couple of minutes and talk to us about how important parties are, whether one person or no people or 20 people show up, because we're not a huge party team, but we are getting better. I've helped host 2 parties in the past month and a half, so we're getting better. But talk about parties if you can real quick.
I thought I unmuted. Okay. If you've ever been in theater, it is super hard to play big to an empty house. Okay. So I get it. It is hard to play big when the party has one person. Okay. But if you can trust God with your eternal soul, then you can trust God to get the butts in seats that were supposed to be there. And even if one person is there, you have to believe that he brought that person for a reason, and your effort won't be wasted. Never, ever, ever play to the size of your audience. You speak on this to the size of your heart and how much you love this, and you watch that other person's life change watching you. Okay? Come in. Quickly. And the middle. Good night. Love you. Okay, so parties are so important. It doesn't matter how many people are there. If it's just you and the guest, then they get the chance to pick your brain and find whatever information they need that speaks to them. If it's just you and your brand new distributor and nobody shows up, who the heck cares? She gets one-on-one time with an expert at this business. Because as soon as you signed up, you became an expert at something. You became an expert at joining because you just did it. And all you have to do to help her join is to teach her what you just did. And then to go executive, that's all you're doing. To go Ruby, you're just teaching somebody how to get to executive, which is what you just did. But parties are so, so important because you cannot feel somebody's excitement. You can't read their hesitations. You can't accurately minister to them in the way they need to be loved on if you're not with them. So don't ever cancel a party. It doesn't matter who is not coming or who's coming. You don't worry about the people that aren't there. You just do it for the people that are there. I hope that makes sense.
I love everything you just said. And I was thinking about the party I helped a girl host a couple weeks ago where 4 people showed up. But I was thinking about, and as I was like kind of helping lead the party, I was thinking about this young mother that was there and about how she was actually a current loyal customer with the girl I was helping host. And I just kept thinking, like, I just had this like overwhelming feeling that even though she's already a loyal customer, this girl is going to become a distributor. She's here for a reason. And at some point, she's going to be doing this business with us, and she's going to be amazing. I love that. We are not
real fast. I'm in Northeast Texas. I was supposed to drive to Oklahoma on Tuesday to go help one of my up and coming leaders with this party. She had invited 175 women from this networking group that she's in. She'd had a ton of them RSVP. And so I was supposed to drive up. It's about a 5-hour drive to help her, wrap all these bodies and such. And like last minute, people started dropping like flies. And she's like, don't come. I don't want you to make the drive, but I'm going to do the party anyway. And so of the 175 people she invited, and I don't know, 45 or 50 that had RSVP'd, 9 people showed up. 9.
Wow.
Okay. But there is nothing on the planet that can dampen this woman's spirits. She's one of the most joyous people I have ever met. So I can trust that her presentation was top notch, even though there were only 9 out of 175 people there. She signed a distributor at the party, who signed a customer at the party, who went home and signed another customer and a distributor that night.
Wow.
Because she did this party for 9 people. So never, ever, ever underestimate who is in your audience, and don't be intimidated by small numbers. Okay, go ahead. Next question.
Okay. Gosh, I'm loving this. Do you ever encounter negativity from people about the products or the business? And if so, how do you handle it? I think this person is asking when you're if someone's ugly to you, whether indirectly, like some people want to be salty and drop a mean status on Facebook, or when you're messaging I've honestly never had anyone do this to me, but if they come back with an ugly message to you, how do you handle the negativity?
You have a little come to Jesus meeting before you respond to them. And there have been times I've had to put my phone down, walk away, go pray for that person for being such a horrible person, and then go try to show them some love. If you believe this works, if you believe in this, you cannot allow them to shake your faith. That's just all there is to it. Now, I'm a mama bear. My team calls me mama bear because I get riled up when somebody's, poking the bear. And so I'll admit, I have to calm myself. Now, in-person negativity, when I first started this business, I was terrified that somebody would want me to wrap them in person and we would take the wrap off and there wouldn't be any results. And so I was so nervous. I would get sick at my stomach when I was wrapping these people. And, they would, well, we don't believe it works, and all the, crap talkers. And I used to sort of tiptoe around the issue. And now I'm like, you don't believe it works? Prove it to me. I've been wrapping people for 6 years. It works. You can't tell me you are special enough to be the first person it's not going to work on. I'm sorry. You're special, but not that special. So basically my attitude now is bring it. If you don't believe it, you need to try it right and prove it to me that it does not work. But you're going to have to show me pictures, and you're going to have to prove to me that you did it properly and it still did not work, because you're going to eat your words. And if it doesn't work on you, I might just eat a rat.
I love that. You are not special.
You're just not that special.
So many people on my team I know needed to hear that. Okay. How do I keep rank when parts of my team are falling apart? So let me just go ahead and say that I have several diamonds, and I've had people, I've had rubies. I've had executives, rubies, emeralds, and diamonds lose their rank. So how do I keep my rank when parts of my team are falling apart?
Okay, first of all, you don't ever lose your rank with this company. They will never, ever take that achievement away from you. Just because you're not paid at that level, that does not mean you are not worthy of that level. So first of all, you need to get that stinking thinking out of your head. You did not lose your rank, okay? If you have to wake up every morning and tell yourself, I'm a ruby and I'm going to go act like it, then dang it, you get up and do it. I'm a diamond, I'm going to go act like it. Because as soon as you allow yourself to start thinking you are not whatever that rank is that you have achieved, you did the work, you got there, you are that rank. As soon as you allow yourself to let those negative, creeping, horrible thoughts in, you're going to start second guessing yourself. You're going to start second guessing your action. And every single time, overthinking leads to underacting. Every time. You did the work, you got there. They will never, ever, ever take that rank away. I just read a compensation plan yesterday. If you don't maintain your rank once in a rolling 3 months, you're booted. You are not that rank anymore, and you have to re-rank. 3 months. So you are ruby, you are emerald, you are diamond, whatever it is. You're executive. Act like it. Okay? You never, never, never stop enrolling. Complete your steps to success every single month. Do your dangdest to get it done, and then teach your team to do it too. It is the most crucial thing that we do. You can never sit back and think, oh, my leaders have this. I will be very honest with you. There was a time right after I went triple. I was in top 200. I will never forget getting that message from Pam and just being thrilled. And my leaders were all on fire. And I had my 5 legs. I had leaders in place that were going to take me to Pres and take me to Ambassador. And I went into management mode. I stopped doing the steps to success and fighting for them like every single $100 fast start bonus mattered for my budget, like it did in the beginning. And I stopped doing what I did in the beginning. And overthinking leads to underacting. So when you stop doing the things that they're teaching you to do, you might be able to ride that paycheck for a little bit, but eventually you're going to see the dip. If you're currently in a dip right now, know beyond shadow of any doubt that hard work pays off every dang time. Period. End of story. If you will put in the work on bettering yourself, pray like it's all up to God, and then work like it's all up to you, not only will you get that paid as rank back, but you will surpass it, and you're going to blow your own mind. So a lot of that is mindset. And I've had a really rough 3 years. I'll be very honest with you. I've been a triple for 3 years. That's longer than many of our new ambassadors have even been in the business. And I've been sitting at triple diamond. And it's because I got in my head. It's because I went into management mode. And then summer of 2015, everybody went, like, I had a few leaders just go crazy, and then there was backstabbing and horrible things being said, and they quit, and volume plummeted, and I began to believe what they were saying about me instead of what God was saying about me. And then I began to believe I had lost my rank and I wasn't a triple, and it was just and it spiraled. And if I had known then what I know now, I could have gotten right back in the game, and I wouldn't still be here 3 years later. But praise the Lord for his faithfulness. I've learned a lot in the last 3 years. I know now that I wasn't ready to promote to presidential back when I thought I was fixing to hit it. I wasn't an appropriate leader. I was a leader for the numbers and not so much for the people. And now I know, sweetie, it's never embarrassing to cry, ever. I'm the queen of tears. I drop a tear. That's the way, like, the Spirit speaks to me. It just, they come out my eyes. It's never embarrassing to cry. You know, I know now that the people that were with me that I thought was going to take me to that next level were not the people I wanted by my side when I hit presidential and I hit ambassador. I would much rather learn these lessons as a Ruby or an executive and have to fight to get that paid as rank back than as a triple or a pres or an ambassador. So always be working on improving yourself, looking to Jesus, because what he says about you in his word is so much more important than what you say about you and what others say about you. Okay. You need to make sure that what you are saying about you lines up with him. So self-improvement. If you guys have not read Lisa Bevere's Without Rival, get it. I don't even have it. I gave it away. Lisa Bevere, Without Rival. It will blow your ever-loving mind.
Okay, I'm writing. How do you spell her last name?
Bevere.
Okay. I'm writing.
It will blow your mind.
You are like awesome. Speaking the Lord to me right now. Okay, 3 more questions. And then, and I think technically 4, but I think the last one can be like a 2-part question.
Okay.
So, okay, and I should have asked this earlier. So we're backtracking just a little bit, but I just saw it, and somebody on my team asked, and I do want you to answer. How many times will you follow up with someone who continues liking your posts or showing your whatever you're, showing love to you in some way, like on your, especially anything on Facebook or talking about the business or the product? How many times will you follow up with them until you know it's time to move on, or do you ever really move on?
I have been following up with a girl for 4.5 years, and I believe in her so much it hurts my soul that she has not joined me yet, because her potential is mind-blowing, and I refuse to give up on her, and she knows that. Every time somebody, now, I mean, I'm not quite that aggressive with everybody, but everybody who likes and comments on my posts gets a message, hey, thanks for the love, hope you're having a great day today. That may be all they get. It's not necessarily, do you want more information? Did you want to chat about this? I wish you'd join my team. But every single time somebody likes or comments, they're getting something from me. and I never stop. They have to block me on Facebook to get rid of me.
I'm the same way. You're
Yeah.
either gonna block me or you're gonna like threaten to kill me or something before. And even then, I probably wouldn't leave you alone.
I was gonna say,
you're gonna have to get
come
rid
for
of
me,
me.
your arms.
Okay, so I love that. So you don't always like reach out and like, did you want more info or something? Because then a lot of people just assume that you're trying to sell them something, when a lot of times
Right.
it's just about reaching out and making that connection. Like at first when they open it, they may think that, oh, she's just going to try to sell me something. But then they open it like, oh, she's just saying thank you. Cool.
Exactly. Now, sometimes if the post had like an action that they were supposed to take, like or comment, blah, blah, blah. And I'll say, hey, thanks for the love. I just wanted to check in. Were you just sharing the love or did you actually want more information? Because a lot of times people don't read completely and they actually wanted more information. And so they just liked instead of commented to or whatever. And so sometimes if there's an action in the post, I will ask, but I'll explain why I asked. Like sometimes, I didn't want your information to get lost, but I did want to say thank you, that kind of thing.
I love that. And I know there's so many people on our team that needed some like fresh ideas for making those connections. So I hope they're writing that down because I love that. I think it's so warm. That it's just such a warm and kind thing to say. Okay, last question, and it's kind of a two-part question.
Okay.
What advice do you have for someone who's brand new, just starting out? And then what's your best advice for someone who has been in the business for a while and still has not hit that first promotion, or maybe has hit something like executive, maybe even Ruby, and then are currently not getting paid as an executive or Ruby?
Okay, so somebody who's just gotten started, you have no idea what you have your hands on. Go hard and fast, like your life depends on it. I wish I could go back and go harder with less abandon, just like all out in the beginning, because I would probably be ambassador if I had, because it wasn't in my area when I started. And so if I had gone harder and faster, if I had dreamed a little bit bigger from the beginning and cared less about what people thought. So that's what I would say. Dream bigger, care less about what people think, do you, and go hard for your family because it's going to be worth it. Somebody who's been here a while and maybe hasn't hit a promotion or sort of lost a paid as rank or has been stuck for a while. First of all, you have to make sure you don't have one foot out the door. If every time you think about how frustrated you are, the thought, I could just quit or something along those lines comes to mind, you will never surpass where you are right now because you don't believe you're worth it. You don't believe you can, and you don't believe you're worth it. So first of all, you have to examine, is that a thought that I'm having? Is there something in here that is holding me back? Okay. Secondly, you need to redream, because obviously if you're thinking of quitting, your why isn't big enough. Your why has to make you cry, or it is not really your why. If it doesn't get you in your gut and make you want to jump up and scream and cry and like shake or whatever, like all at the same time, that's not really why you're here. And so make sure your why is actually your why. If you've been here a while, it could change. Mine has changed. I've been here almost 6 years and it has changed. Dream bigger, define your why. It needs to be so specific. And then start over like you're brand new in the beginning. Relaunch your business. Why not? You're starting a brand new team. Just relaunch like you've never done this before. Put it out there on Facebook like you are so excited, something new, this new adventure, because you're a different person than you were when you started. You've learned a lot more. So that's what I teach my team. Like when it's time to get back in it and start fresh, we really do start fresh. All of your negative experiences, the things that you felt like were holding you back, they are gone because Jesus is doing a new thing. And so those are all gone. You are smarter, you are wiser, you're already better at this business than you were when you started. So there's no reason why you can't get back to where you were and then surpass it quickly. So dream big, figure out your why, start from scratch, relaunch, do a party, get desperate about getting those first 4 customers before the end of the month. This month we've got those extra $100 bonuses, but even if those aren't on the table, you got to get desperate about it again. You can't hem and haw about it. It has to be so important to you that you're just going to do it. If what you're currently doing isn't working, you need to be willing to commit. You need to be willing to change it up. All right. But don't allow yourself to be constantly chasing what these other people are doing. You need to figure out what works for you and stay in your lane. This is why I don't spend a lot of time on Instagram. It is not my thing. Okay. I spent a lot of the time over the last 3 years. I told you I was listening to what everybody else was saying about me. Because I assumed I wasn't good enough. All these people are coming in and they're going from 0 to ambassador in a butterfly fart. And I'm like sitting here at Triple going, what's happening? Why am I not going anywhere? So I started trying to do what they were doing. And then I just felt bad at it. It wasn't bringing me joy. It wasn't fun. And so then I was like, oh, well, this must not be for me. And then God was like, that's not going to happen. So anyway, you've got to be willing to try new things, but also you have to recognize when to stay in your lane. Facebook is my lane. I can play with Instagram, but Facebook is my lane. Parties, speaking to people is my lane. This gets me fired up. Part of what you're going to do in that Lisa Bevere book, there's an activity she has you do because the Spirit has designations that He has given you when you were created. Those are your gifts. That is what you are created to be and do. And there's this activity where she's going to sit you down with a piece of paper and a pen, and you're going to pray to have the Spirit speak His words over you. Y'all, I was terrified that A, He wasn't going to say anything at all because it's just me. And B, if I did hear words, it was what I wanted to hear and not Him. And so I literally said, okay, Lord, you created my mind, clear my mind. I only want to hear what you want to give me. And I'm going to trust that the words that pop into my head are the words that you have given me. And it was the most eye-opening experience, guys. My Spirit designations are that I am beloved, which has been a hard thing for me because I struggle with being everything for everybody. I am loved, I am a speaker, and I'm a teacher. This is what I'm supposed to do. And so when I began to act in those gifts and stay in my lane, business got really, really fun again. Okay? So get back to having fun. Figure out what you're good at and do that more. But don't ever quit. Don't ever quit. I know it's hard. Hold on, I gotta check something real quick. And this is for you guys. This is not just something random I'm checking real fast. Let me just pause and check something. Hold on.
You're totally fine. I'm loving everything you're saying.
Okay. So I remember when I started, 90 days seemed like such a long time. And at the same time, it was not long enough. Like, could I really get to Diamond in 90 days? And then, oh my gosh, will I ever make it to a year? And it just like, oh, I'll just give this 6 months. And if I'm not good at it then, or this 30 days hasn't gone really well. Guys, I'm on the other side of all of that. I had to look up my number. I have been with this business for 2,057 days. And I remember like 61 days. Way back then, I could have gotten a Ruby bonus for going Ruby in my first 60 days. And day 61, I had missed it. And I was like, guess I'm not good at this. Maybe I should just bow out. I'm on day 2057. What would have happened if I had quit at day 61? Or day 161? Or day 1061? I mean, seriously, like if you guys will look at this as a long-term career, this is my end game. There is nothing after this for me. And if you guys will start to see it as that, your frustration with feeling like you're moving slowly or growing slowly, guys, we serve a God that sits outside of time and space. Every time I tell God I'm running out of time, he's like, sister, I created it. You're good. I am not late. Mary and Martha thought he was late when he came to the tomb, and he spoke and Lazarus walked out. Like, that's what can happen when we think God is late. And before I hop off, because I have like 2 minutes before I have to hop on that video, I want to remind you guys, this is very heavy on my heart right now. I want to remind you guys that the same power that brought Lazarus out of the tomb, the same power that let Jesus walk on the water, this same power that split the waters for Moses and brought the flood for Noah and brought the fire down on the soaked altar, that is the power that lives in you. That is the power that you function with every day. You have to be willing to open up and use it. You've got to be willing to open up and use it. When you purpose in your heart to do something for Christ, all of hell wants to derail you. So if you're feeling frustrated tonight, you're feeling, I guess I'm not good at this, I promise you, those are not from above. Company speaks Jesus to people. It brings people to us that we get to love on in ways we never would have met before. People we never would have met before. You get to love on. You get to be part of an answer to a prayer. You never know whom you will meet tomorrow, whose life you just might change. So remember that the power of Christ in you is more than enough to accomplish what he is calling you to. Let that sink in for a second. The power of Christ in you is more than enough to accomplish all that he is calling you to. For a long time, I had to have that on a poster board and I had to hang it up above my desk because I was so lost in I can't. So I want to keep you from being lost in I can't. I would be more than thrilled to pray with you guys if anybody wants to send a message and pray or whatever. I love doing that for people. I hate that I have to jump off. It feels very abrupt. Yeah, I hope tonight was helpful. And go be amazing. How's that sound?
Thank you so much. My husband just came in here and said she is someone you've got to stay friends with. I said, I know, like way to drop the mic. Okay, Bethany, we appreciate you. We appreciate you so much. I'm gonna message you later on. I'm wanting to cry. I can see other people on my Zoom are crying. So I'm gonna spend a few minutes with my team, and then I can't thank you enough. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. Okay, bye guys.
Bye. Guys, y'all are more than welcome to stay on for a little bit if y'all want to meet for a little bit. I feel emotionally drained after that, but in the best way ever. I feel spiritually purified. This, I don't know how to follow up with that. I feel like y'all get on and y'all hear me talking all my crap and making all my jokes and I think I'm really funny, but after hearing her, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm a really crappy leader. Does anybody have anything that they wanted to share or anything they wanted to add? Does anybody have a fire that was literally just lit in you? I don't want to hear anything else about I lost my whatever rank. No, you didn't. I'm over here why the hell am I throwing a hissy fit and getting upset? And I just realized I'm still recording. Okay, we're coming to Jesus now. We got to stop recording.